How you doing? Drella.
Ron.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
Ron, aka Firstborn.
Okay. Is he really the firstborn, or is just a nickname that he has?
You know, slash out first. It's a biblical reference.
I see. Okay. Anyway, nice to meet you. And I know you're working, so I'll leave you to do your work. Maybe later I'll catch up with you. But let's talk about you. How's it been?
It's been really busy.
Yeah?
Really busy, crazy. Just getting back from Ghana a couple weeks ago. Had an incredible time out there. We're there for about a month. Brought my boy with me.
Okay.
And, you know, we just started the takeover.
What was really the plan in Ghana when you went back?
So, really, we wanted to do a cultural exchange and a writing camp. So,
Okay.
what we ended up doing was flying some of our friends who are like some of the top songwriters in the States.
Okay.
Flew them out there. We worked with some of the Ghanaian artists out there.
Wow.
Did a whole writing camp. We made about 40 records in a matter of like 8 to 10 days.
40.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We were going crazy.
That's a lot. And this you were doing in collaboration with some of the artists in Ghana as well?
Yes, indeed.
So who are some of the people that you worked with, if you don't mind, spilling the tea?
So let me see. We had Kofi Jamar come through.
Okay.
Kwamina MP.
Nice.
Famaye.
Okay.
Stoneboy, Rocky Downey. Dang, it's so many artists, I can't think of everybody.
I do understand, but I'm just wondering why there was a need to have a writing camp there. What did you realize was missing, which is why you wanted to organize something like this?
I felt what was missing was, one, collaboration, two, there's really no infrastructure within the industry there,
Yeah.
and three, just better production when it comes to these records. And so I know as soon as I was nominated, the first thing I wanted to do was like figure out, how I could be of service to really build the music scene out there,
Yeah.
and seeing how I can elevate the sound as well. And so, me and Firstborn, we went to an event that Rocky Downey hosted.
Okay.
And that's when we came up with the idea, like, yo, we should do like a writing camp out there and really just build some artists out there. And so upon that, we ended up finding or discovering a couple of artists, one of
Okay.
them being Spicer Dabs.
I've heard about him. I hear he's crazy.
Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible.
So you're his official producer for what, the first song that we'll hear from him?
So he already has music out, but
Okay.
it's nothing like what we're doing with him. Is
Yeah.
really nothing like what he's been putting out.
I see.
So
I'm looking forward to that. But to get nominated for Grammys, and let's just go back to that, because that was what, 2 years ago, when you got nominated for, your work on Kanye West's album. I mean, how did that impact your brand and your career here in the US?
So me personally, I felt like I should have been nominated years ago because I was also on Drake's album.
Yeah, you were.
And Drake usually is always nominated.
Yeah.
So it was just a long time coming, and I feel like me being nominated definitely helped me get into more rooms with artists.
Yeah.
And as far as how it impacted me in Ghana, like I'm slowly becoming like, I guess, a bubbling star in Ghana, because I'm one of the few producers that was nominated for a Grammy.
Okay.
And so it was just crazy just seeing how much support that I was getting from the Ghanaian community,
Yeah.
and how proud they were of me.
But all the way back to when you worked with Drake, I've read a story about how he even jumped on this record because you had another producer friend who was you were working on records with, and he called you and told you what, Drake had jumped on that song?
Yeah, it's funny because
Tell us that story.
So I was working with these two brothers. They go by Wallace Lane.
Yeah.
We were working on records for this artist named Logic.
Okay.
And so one of the brothers come in and he's like, oh, we're working on records for this kid named Geshi. We need, melody loops and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool. So I went home, did 4 ideas, sent it to them. They did drums to it. Didn't hear nothing about it.
Yeah.
I ended up getting the call saying that Drake got on the record. I'm like,
You didn't believe it?
I didn't believe it, because I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And apparently they gave the beat to G-Rai, who's Party Next Door's producer.
Okay.
Party Next Door signed to Drake. And so I guess G-Rai had already been working with Drake. And through that, he went in on the drums, ended up getting Drake on it, and that was that.
And that was it. How did it feel like hearing his voice on something that you had worked on?
I can't even describe it. I was just in disbelief.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is crazy. And on top of that, it was so early in my career.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting to get to Drake until like now.
Yeah, because you made that comment. You were saying that you didn't expect that to happen so early in your career when you heard that.
It's crazy because I'm just like, wow, I got one on Drake. I'm about to be Grammy nominated, this and that. And it was like, no.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, through that, stayed resilient, kept working, and then I ended up getting one on Kanye.
That's the thing about Kanye as well, and the fact that you worked on an album that meant a lot to him, because Donda is after his mom, his late mom, and so I know how much work he put into this, and we all saw how much work went into it. For you, what was significant about working on this particular track on the Donda album?
I think it goes past the music. I think that was just a lesson in me believing that everything happens for a reason, because I'm gonna make this a very quick story.
Okay.
So in 2017, I went up to the Bay Area for this fashion show that my friends and I were throwing, and I linked up with my friends, Bankroll Got It. And so we went out to eat, we left our backpacks in the car, came back, somebody had broke into the car, stole all our laptops. Yes, and so I had disappeared for a month. Then Wallace Lane ended up calling me like, yo, where have you been at? Like, we haven't seen you, blah, blah, blah. And I told them what happened, and they're like, oh, don't even worry about it. Come over, let's make a bunch of music, and, you know, we'll get another one on Drake's album. I was like, cool. So went over there for a couple days. We did like 10 ideas. That was that. 3 years later, he ends up calling me, and he's playing me a song.
Wait, 3 years?
3 years later. So this happened in 2017. 3 years later, he calls me, playing me a song, and I'm like, who is that singing on it? And he's like, that's Kanye. I'm like, how did that happen? He's like, bro, the song leaked on YouTube.
Oh.
So that's how we found out. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
you knew that was a Grammy coming your way at that point, right?
Absolutely. I was like, if this album isn't nominated, I don't know what will be.
And then you posted a tweet, because that's even pinned on your Twitter page as well. The fact that you went to screenshots and you were like, I've been keeping this secret for what, like a year?
A year.
And it's finally out now. I have to tell you, I'm on that album.
Yes.
That is dope. And I like that you're also pulling along a lot of Ghanaian artists with you, because you're working with Stonebwoy currently.
Man, we went crazy with Stonebwoy.
Yeah?
We went crazy. Like, he's been over here like all week, and we knocked out like 3-4 records.
Wow, already?
Yes.
I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, one of them's coming out on his album. That's all I'm gonna say.
He told us about the album, by the way, and so we're looking forward to that. But I mean, aside that, he also talked about wanting to work with a number of other Ghanaian artists like Kwabena, Black Sherif. What's the update on that?
So me and Kwabena, we already have a record together.
Okay.
Black Sherif, stuff was too crazy in Ghana at that time, so that didn't end up happening.
Did you at least reach out when you were in Ghana?
I reached out. They were supposed to pull up. I guess they had other engagements, so they weren't able to make it.
Okay. But that conversation is still open?
Sure.
So whenever they walk in, you're ready to do a record with them?
I'm ready to work with whoever wants to work with me.
What do you think about Black Sherif and his kind of music?
He's dope. I feel like he can exceed to the next level, or he can go to the next level if everything around him supports that, i.e. meaning like his production. I feel like that's the one thing that's really missing when it comes to a lot of Ghanaian artists is the production value of things. Like out here in the States, the reason why Kanye's music sounds like his music, we have like 4 to 7 people working on a record. And so it's a whole bunch of great minds working on one thing as opposed to just one person just producing it.
But it costs a lot to be able to get 7 people to be working on your song as well.
I mean,
that's probably something we don't have.
The budget is what the budget is, but everything's negotiable at the end of the day. I feel like just building your own team, just working with people that believe in your vision makes the process that much better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get to talk to him as well and see. So I saw the Diamond Platinum plaque by the RIAA, that's what it's called, right? For Nicki Minaj for Super Bass.
Yes.
That's something you worked on?
I did.
Tell us about that.
Man, it was, NABEYIN earlier spoke about working with a big artist and it not only being a thrilling moment and exciting, but also very educational.
Yeah.
I would say some of my highest highs, some of my lowest lows, and just an incredible experience. But the thing about Super Bass that's so unique that not a lot of people realize is it was like one of the first viral records.
It was.
You know, and so to have that kind of experience and to see your record have a life of its own after the studio, no other experience like that.
I mean, this was in 2011, right? When it was released. And at that time, Nicki had said that streaming streaming wasn't really a popular thing then. So for her to sell over 10 million records.
Physical. People went to the store or digitally downloaded. We physically bought our copies, so we got our CDs. We didn't even hear Super Bass till we actually bought the CDs.
You're kidding.
You know? It's only 10 years ago, but it feels like 30 years ago.
No, 10 years ago is a long time ago. A lot of things have changed now because of tech.
Actually.
But aside working with all these people, now you're working with Ghanaian artists. Stonebwoy, we're told, has been in the studios for.
Yes.
What do you make of the kind of talent that we are churning out from Ghana especially?
Listen, so NABEYIN had been trying to get me to come to Ghana for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, as he said, we went to Grammys, had an incredible experience with Rocky Nominee.
Yeah.
And just the energy, the vibrance of Ghanaians that night was like, okay. I've been to a lot of Grammys, a lot of Grammy parties, and we had to leave to go do something, and we went to that other something, we're like, no, let's go back.
Yeah.
And so when we went, we're like, okay, this energy, there's something. And so you spent a month there in December, and that same vibrance is in all the artists that we met. You can hear it as soon as we touched down, we went and got some jollof and some fried chicken.
Oh, cool.
And when we walk in, I think it was it Dope Nation was the first record we heard?
Okay.
We walked in, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like
you hadn't heard something like that before?
Not like that. Not that energy. It's just the energy of it, the frequency of it, right?
Okay.
Like we're currently in Bel Air in LA. There's a different frequency of the club and music. So just the energy, the frequency, like you said, we're working with Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
Amazing. One of the best artists I've ever worked with, hands down. And then he took me to a show. We got to see Kwame IMP.
Yeah.
Oh man, superstar. And of course, our favorite Spicer
Yeah.
Dab. So look at that coming soon, man.
We are. But I want to see you guys, in action. So let's see what you can do. I'm curious.
Come on.
Yeah. Let's create a beat or something. I don't know. Oh, you going? I'll just stand behind you guys.
I'm gonna pull up.
I'm the novice here. I have no idea what's going on, so I'm gonna pretend.
Let's see.
You're fire, baby, you're fire. My desire, baby, my desire. You're fire, baby, you're fire. My desire, baby. I pull up on the night on a big vibe. But you can't get your pretty eyes on me.
Okay.
I know you wanna hang with a big boy.
So is this out? Not yet. Oh, so we got an exclusive?
I got the exclusive.
Oh my God!
That's why we had to cut it.
Oh no, but that's good. And you guys worked on this together.
Yes,
I
that's
see.
boy, oh gosh, Leotis.
Okay. That's nice. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'll leave you here, but I want to say thank you so much for hanging with me. And when you get into Ghana, let me know.
Yes, indeed.
You should. I don't see why you came to Ghana and you didn't reach out to me. NABEYIN. Ading.
Listen, I'm working on my communication.
Please do. Do you speak Chi? Fanti? None of those.
I can understand it better than I can speak it.
Where are you from, by the way?
I'm Jamaican American. All my family's born in
cool.
Jamaica.
Okay.
I'm the youngest. I'm born in Houston though.
Wow.
Same
Okay.
situation.
Yeah.
I'm the only one out of my siblings born in the States.
I met his superstar brother recently, by the way, and you guys, I'm sure, know some work that he's done way back with Hammer and the like, right?
In the last two occasions.
Exactly. But thank you guys so much. And on that note, I'm going to leave you. I know you guys are busy. I'll go take a look around. You guys do your thing. Yeah? All right. So NABEYIN and, of course, Firstborn, and they've worked on some incredible stuff. I'm looking forward to that song from Spicer. But in the meantime, we're hanging out in LA. All right, and I hope you enjoyed today's edition of The Day Show coming to you from LA. Hopefully we'll get a lot more of those exterior shoots and conversations to show you another time. But until then, my name is Berla Mundi. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.